Hello everyone, I'm back again with Slay the Princess. So, before we start, I actually wanted to announce something really quickly. I have started a podcast. Yeah, I started with a friend. I really want to start a podcast for a long time. It's about the RPGs, although it's not a live play. So it's not your usual tabletop-related podcast. But without further ado, I'll see you at the cabin. So, I know that it seems unusual that I'm back here, because I've said already done everything that's possible to be done in Chapter 1. But apparently, I just did a bit of searching, and there is an option that we haven't tried. And for that, we have to enter the basement without the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing.
Okay, I guess.
It's the kind of voice you...
Skip forward. Continue downstairs.
You're still listening to reason.
Skip forward a bit. Hold on. Let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
Because every time we haven't taken the blade, we just immediately try to save her. But we haven't tried retrieving the blade, I believe. I'm trying to see if... No, I think I've done all of these options. Yes, I believe so. Go back upstairs to retrieve the blade without saying another word. Just not even talk with her.
Thank you.
Well, face changed.
You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
Oh, I won't be leaving you.
You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
Oh no.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Let's finish this.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her.
What? There are only 4 corners. Come on.
Where is she?
Close the door behind you. Sure, let's be badass about it.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Going out. Let's just get this over with.
I can wait. I'm very patient.
Wait.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
Keep waiting.
You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers.
Right, she's kind of a master at waiting. I guess I shouldn't have tried playing her own game.
You barely even realize that you've started to drift off.
Lovely.
Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs.
Ow.
There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone.
Come on. Pull yourself together. We can win.
It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over.
No.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
I didn't even fight back. I'm gonna have to rerun that. Chapter 2. The Beast.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Yeah, we know.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
She's going to kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
Thanks for the flattery, but she did.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Let's just proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature?
What?
I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
Yeah.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
Or see.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Proceed into the cabin. Too late to turn around.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Doesn't seem that bad.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror.
Oh wait.
There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. What a strange thing to lie about. Maybe he doesn't see it. Much like he hasn't seen what's already happened.
Would explain a lot. It doesn't matter.
But it does matter. Don't you care if we're being lied to? If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
It's just a bit.
But there was a mirror a second ago.
Huh. This new content, huh?
And now it's gone.
Maybe from Hunted. Have we ever had a Hunted before? No. Aside from Moment of Clarity. Let's Take the blade. Let's not make the mistake of going unarmed first, so...
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes.
Looks less like a basement, more like a cave, but okay.
The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Right.
She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
Okay, not a nice thing to say, you know? Just showered, but okay.
She sounds almost feral. Impatient. Or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
No, she's right here. Never
You see
mind.
only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her.
Sound cue. We know we have the chain sound.
Remember, she's just a princess.
No!
She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does.
What she does is trying to kill us.
Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
Okay.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Move.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess.
Oh no.
In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
Okay. I think I have to fight.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
We fight. Whoa. I was sent to kill you because you're a threat to the world. I'm starting to believe that's true.
Oh, for the love of... You've given up the game. Great. All that will do is hasten her victory.
She was already trying to kill me.
So many useless thoughts run through your head. Thinking, thinking, thinking. You'll never hurt me if you keep thinking.
I don't have... Okay. That's true. What do you want? Actually, no. Let's listen. Let's run for the stairs.
She's right there. We have to wait for an opening. That's fair. She'll kill us if we try and run past her.
That's true. Oh, I guess You're deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else.
Stairs.
We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive.
That's true.
It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
That's a good idea. Survive? Wait for it to strike and hit her back. Wait for it to strike and hit her back.
This isn't going to work. We're in her domain. We just have to stay alive. If we keep dodging her forever, we're going to get tired. We're going to slip up. We have to take a risk.
That's true. That's true.
As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, the titan of the burrito lash out. It strikes, cutting deep, and the princess loses her focus, crying out in pained surprise as she crashes into you. You're sent sprawling and can already feel the massive bruise blossoming on your ribs as she scrambles back into the darkness. Ha! Look at that! We wounded her.
Just a couple more.
And she wounded us. Bad trade.
Okay.
That hurt. Are you just the cornered animal you seem to be? Or could you be a rival?
She rears back, then leaps at you, more forceful, more ferocious, more serious. The scuffle is brief, and though you inflict a few deep wounds, you find yourself quickly overwhelmed by her savagery.
Crap.
You collapse to the floor. She wastes no time before pouncing on you in a flurry of claws and blood, your nerves barely able to keep up with the onslaught.
Am I dead just like that?
By the end, you're lying in a nest of your own intestines, spine severed, blood rapidly draining out onto the jungle floor.
Well.
The princess, drenched in both her blood and yours, idly prods your body.
At least I tried.
No, that's it then. Cornered animal it was.
Happens.
Do better next time. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
Could have quick save. Well, chapter 3. The Den.
You're on a path in the Yeah, we are. And this time we're not gonna run until we die. We're taking her head on and we're winning.
I love this guy so much.
You felt her. She didn't have a soft underbelly. She didn't have blind spots. What could we have done that would have saved us from her hunger?
Fought better.
When someone tries to make you dead, you have to hit them back. You have to show them your authority. There's nothing worse than a bully that thinks they own you. Great. So you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done. Oh, shut up. It bodes fine. You're the reason we're stuck in this shit situation. Now I have to do the hard work of dragging us out. And how do you intend to do that? We're going to fight her, and we're going to win. There's a reason she slinks around in the shadows.
Oh yeah, she's an ambush predator. What if we don't let her ambush us?
Well, no complaints here. Now hold on. We're not just going to let the fact that he knows things about this whole Lupin situation go, are we?
Yeah, that's just it.
He's not important. He can have his secrets for all I care. She's killed us twice now, and that's enough of a reason for us to want her dead.
Oh, that's true. Okay, what's the plan?
Like I said, we're going to fight her.
No strategy, no tactic. Okay.
But we're so small.
No, we're not. Never mind.
We don't actually know how big she is. We just know she wants us to think she's big.
Oh, yeah.
And if she's going to treat us like prey again, then she is sorely underestimating us. One good wallop, that's all we need to put her on the defensive.
No matter what happens next, Actually, no, let's click for all the options. The path is different than it was before.
Ground is ground. It doesn't matter what shape it takes. We'll adapt. If it looks different, that's because the situation has started to spiral out of everyone's control. So please, disavow yourself of the notion that you can just come back here and fix this place if you manage to make a mess before that line of thinking leaves you yet another world in ruin. Though, as evidenced by you dying twice, it's safe to assume the fates of the worlds you've left behind don't concern you very much.
It's hard to go up against an animal.
Consider this your last opportunity to make things right. For you and for the rest of existence. But especially for you. We don't need your pep talk. I'll make sure we pull this off.
What happen? What if we just leave? What happens then?
Yeah, she was still there last time. I'm not so sure she can free herself without our help.
Yeah, she said something about needing us alive, so...
Maybe not quickly, but it's inevitable that cabin won't last forever.
Okay. I want answers. What is going on here? What do you know that you're not telling me?
I've told you as much as I can without putting you at a disadvantage. If anything, I've told you too much. Like that grumbling voice said just a moment ago, you've already died by her hands twice. You shouldn't need much else in the way of motivation.
Alright. Don't know what happens next. It seems like all our answers are in the cabin. Let's see this through.
You make your way down to the cabin. Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do.
Oh, this is climactic.
We've already been over the plan.
We fight her.
I'm not sure that use violence counts as a plan. It's a better plan than you had last time.
True.
I don't like this, but I'll try to keep us breathing.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior is dark and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all. The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump, a pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. We're not fighting a monster without a blade, even if it's not a very big one. Great. That mirror's back, and it's where the door is supposed to be.
Well, just... yeah. Sure.
What are you talking about? There is no mirror. It's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us.
Having these two guys makes me practically unkillable, actually. Hunted just makes me good at dodging and sensing. Stubborn makes me good at fighting.
If that mirror's blocking our way, just smash it and be done with it.
I see. Take the blade.
Yes, take the steel claw.
It's our only chance.
You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. One step closer to ending this.
Approach the mirror.
You step forward, approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair. You heard him. Stop hesitating and smash that antique. That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else.
Yeah.
It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. Like you said, you've been here twice before. Your mind was bound to start playing tricks on you eventually.
But the mirror was here before.
It's so grimy. Maybe we can wipe it clean and finally get a look at ourselves.
Smash it!
You bring your fist crashing down into the open hole leading to the basement, throwing yourself off balance and tumbling headlong into the pitch black.
Great.
If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend. It smells of mold and decay, The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs, no entity threatens violence or pleads for safety. Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound. You say nothing, maintaining the silence as you carefully make your way down into the basement. The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light here, save for what little starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel. And though you can't see the vastness of the space, you can feel it. You're exposed.
She has to be too.
It doesn't matter if we can't see down here. We know where she is.
Step into the shadows, ready to fight.
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds in your chest, ears pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement. There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. Swinging your blade, its tip intercepting her before she can draw first blood. She recoils, stunned for a brief moment.
Who's the predator now? No, that's the wrong thing to say.
See, I told you. We needed to assert our might. We needed to prove to her that she can bleed too. She'll doubt her every move now. Even more ferocity than before. But that voice in your head wasn't wrong. Within that ferocity, there is also hesitation. Not much, but enough. Not a word is spoken between you and the princess as you exchange blows in the dark. The glint of bloody claws and fangs, the flash of wet steel. In the pit, all of your senses are heightened, each injury stinging like a chorus of insects, each small shift in your favor a major victory that swells your heart. All reaches a climax. And
what if she doesn't respond? Eyes glance at you from the untextured threads of a world unraveled. Am I free? They ask. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
she's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. The thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
So on the side is going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. I'd like to be somewhere nice. Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. You're gone once again. The mirror always looks evil, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. You find yourself in a lone quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Whoa, she's long. Approach her.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I'm
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is consumed by instinct. A predator pushing those around her to adapt. She will make for a bold heart. She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice.
Wait, just realized. She... Oh. I guess I'll cover that at the end of the video.
Do not mourn her, for she is part of something greater.
Ready to go back?
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
A worldless vessel. Bring the den to her. There's another thing we could try. Okay, we are back here. What if we try talking? We can... Hello?
Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Oh, that's really not pleasant. Let's finish this.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Investigate the arm.
As you step towards the severed limb, you hear the pattering of feet behind you, soft against the basement floor, then loud and desperate against the stairs. You turn to chase after the princess, but she's fast and has too much of a lead.
No.
She slams the door behind her before you can make it to the top of the stairs. The lock clicks into place.
Oh, no.
No!
Roles reversed? Slay the... What am I?
Thanks for letting me out. I'd return the favor, but I think we both know that I can't trust you to let me stay free.
With those parting words, the princess walks away, her quiet footsteps eventually fading as she leaves you and the cabin to rot. You're stuck here, alone. It can't just end like this, right?
No way.
As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. You don't know how much time passes before the end, but eventually it comes. The world ends, and you end with it.
No way. We're back at the witch.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay, so... Haven't I done the witch? It shouldn't let me in here. Okay, so there is one more thing I want to try in the beast, and that is losing the fight. So I'll see you there. Okay, we are back here. Back at the beast. So let's just stand still.
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it?
No, not
Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place, A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
Oh no.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Who was telling her all this?
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison.
So, your plan was to eat me and keep me alive.
I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here?
We could test it.
Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something.
I don't...
You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
Explore. Dig with the steel claw.
Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Guess we'll just have to see.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
We gotta be
The
quick.
cage is still locked.
Dig with the steel claw.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. The pulling returns to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
Slay the princess.
Though your body is dissolving, eroding into unrecognizable shapes, your will drives it forward. You have a target, and you will strike it.
The indomitable human will wins once again.
We're too late, aren't we? This isn't survival. This is spite. No, it's something better. It's fulfilling a noble destiny. Your lone, functioning arm lashes out, stabbing up towards the princess's heart.
So you found a way to kill me. then we'll die together, and I will see you again soon.
With those prophetic words, you do not draw another breath, your body tangled and melting in the cooling folds of the princess's flesh. Everything goes dark, and you die. But at least you've saved the world, I hope.
Most likely. Chapter 3, The Wild.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end, but something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that?
What? Looks kind of like a nervous system. Did we become one?
That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third?
Yep.
That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
We died, then we martyred.
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
This is weird. We went from one of the most aggressive rounds. This?
Oh, I like that. I don't feel so small anymore when you put it like that.
That's because you aren't small, even if you act that way. We're both so much more together than we were apart, and we can be so much more still, vast, unfathomable.
You're not mad at us for stabbing you in the heart, are you?
No. Are you mad at me for swallowing you whole?
Nah, not really. It all seems so petty right now.
Didn't even give me a choice. Huh?
She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
Yeah. Creature of perception. We think that we became one. We are one.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I like how any of the chapter 3s are very lore heavy. Before I get to these, I'll cover what would happen if we let the princess out. Fine, you can leave.
Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then... And then?
And then
It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
unraveling has begun. Ugh. You can feel the churning in the forms around you, then a wet tunneling before you are ejected into a place that is nowhere at all.
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky for you. This place is cold.
But before you can say anything to her, she's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go?
You approach the
This-
mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. That thing reeks of death.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is consumed by instinct. A predator pushing those around her to adapt. She will make for a bold heart.
Okay. That is just... Why are you being nice to me? Aren't you a monster? Didn't you eat me?
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Oh.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping. A heartbeat. Like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart. Don't look at it!
I think we should hear out whatever it is that's trying to be heard. I like to take all options into account before making
Same.
any big decisions, and what's the harm in just listening?
Gaze at the terror in your heart.
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. All of that digging with the knife, and we didn't even get to win. That was hard work. I wanted to win. And what's the point of being part of a larger whole if we're not the one in charge of that whole?
True.
As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. And you can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
No, I devoured you. I won. I put things back the way they were supposed to be.
Some division, when so, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty, don't you?
I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live. Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill.
True.
Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
Slay the princess.
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
I'm sorry.
Don't say I'm sorry. But you never see her die. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone.
There's
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart.
Okay. Let's see what happens when we decide to not slay her.
I feel so...
I never wanted to kill you. Not really. But we can't be the same thing as each other. I had to put an end to whatever happened to us. Cut her free.
Devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming.
You're irrelevant right
And that
now.
other thing is... We'll just have to wait and find out when it happens. Ignore him. His words only confuse us. Just do it. He's weak. Thinks he can boss us around when he doesn't have any authority. We're clearly the ones with authority around here, so we can do whatever we like. You're tired, aren't you? No, I'm not. I'm... fine. Whatever. You cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. Good luck getting her out of here.
I didn't think you would do that after everything. It's so cold without you.
But you don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart. Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for.
Okay. Now, we're gonna see what happens. Now, we're gonna see what happens when we ignore the beating. This thing watching us, what is he? I don't know why the sound bite didn't play. Things have been broken. I'm not watching you. I'm trying to help you.
That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
Just not let him.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
I've had enough of this guy. How do we
We
stop him?
push back. It may feel like he's everywhere, but presence isn't strength. Otherwise, he would have torn us apart by now. There must be a crack in the walls of this prison. There must be a way for us to be free from him.
She's trying to use you. After everything she's done, you should be able to see that. I may not have been around to witness it, but clearly you remember what happened. How about you try remembering how it all felt?
No, I'd rather not. Turn inward and find your freedom. A glimpse of something
You fall
bigger.
inward, into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere, we just need to test the boundaries. We just need to find the right place to be at the right time. You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal, some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same.
Well, I say it's worth to try to fix it. At worst, nothing changes.
What is he going on about? What does he know about us? You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
There is a place you need to be. You just need to find it.
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end. This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible.
You sound a bit stressed. If it was impossible, you wouldn't sound.
All he has are words, and words aren't real. We're real.
Oh. Ow.
That's right, I know a loser when I see one. Call his bluff.
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
I trust you. Find the way out.
You won't find anything. If I have to starve you, if I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it.
But you do find something. It's cold and smooth and gently buckles, then cracks under the pressure of your consciousness, flattening against it.
Don't move an inch. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this right now.
What did he mean by that?
I think it's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
shatter the cage.
No, stop!
But his pleas disappear at the sound of breaking glass. For a moment, you and she gaze through the tiniest hole in the world at the place you need to be.
Job well done, team. Just like I'd planned.
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
Wait, no, don't. We're so close.
It's beautiful. We need to be there. We won't be safe until we are. We won't be whole.
And then, it's gone.
Where did it go? Why is everything so cold?
But you never get the chance to answer her. You turn to see her gone behind you. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? But it feels so bad. Okay.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a totally different dialogue. Also, that looks kind of like a face. Eyes, nose, mouth.
Do you know what we'll find out there?
No. Oh, this is no dialogue. Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? You want to tell me?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
There's trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there are supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Am I not a person? Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we are real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers.
This same dialogue.
She will make for a curious heart. Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for.
I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you,
that'll be everything for tonight. Really hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like and maybe subscribe if you can. And remember to check out that podcast, please.